Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to the BSR MX5 Monday Cup here at the Mount Panorama circuit, aka Bathurst. I'm Austin. I am joined by Marco Branaba, and after a very wild race at Sonoma, it's time to take things a little bit down easy street, and that's completely opposite term of what this track is, but it's going to be a great time here at Bathurst. Marco, how you feeling?
Oh, that is this is going to be a fantastic round, as per usual. Bathurst always provides for some exciting racing, some drama all around the board, and this track is a track that really, doesn't allow for any kind of mistake, both from you and from the opponents that are around you. So, you have to be smooth, you have to be smart, clean, and hope that the guys around you don't make mistakes, because if someone makes a mistake in front of you in the mountain section, it's quite possible you're going to be involved in that.
Yeah, mistakes will happen from time to time, especially in the mountain section, and you will not expect a lot of side-by-side racing, but if you do, you're usually going to be screaming in the cockpit and then watching at the same time, because that's going to end out in the best way possible. I mean, in the worst way possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And with these MX5s, the way the draft works, really the drivers have to be smart. I think that this car will provide for plenty of passing spots down the two main straights, which are Mountain Straight, the one after the start-finish line, and Conrod Straight, the one coming back from the mountain section. And of course, also in that particular stretch of racetrack, you have the possibility, of the chase, that very, very hard braking zone at the chicane there, which it's not a straightforward chicane, because there's also a little bit of elevation change, but still, if you take the draft and outbrake your opponent, you can quite easily make the move. So on paper, the smart thing to do is follow on the mountain and pass on the straight, but we know that in these close quarter battles, Austin, it's not that simple, to have this mindset, because you will always have to fight with someone and defend from someone.
Yeah, there's always going to be a fight and defense happening from on this track. And you were saying the follow in the mountains and pass on the straight. Well, we just came from a track that didn't have any straights, and that led to some amazing battles, but very few actual successful moves. With the straights on here, we're going to have more moves and probably tighter battles, as I believe the grid is going to start forming up right now.
Yes, we are just waiting. As you can see, the weather is quite cloudy as per BSR tradition, and here we go. That should be on your screen right now.
Starting up on pole, it's Ben Sharp, and he's joined by Yaroslav Sebula, Jez Banks, Carl Jacqueline, Edward May, Mikey Key, David Ears, Scott Malcolm, Carl Hardy, Charles Kellyman, Craig Jones, Martin Sampson, Steve Hansford, Russell Davis, Andy Maxwell, Christopher Verge, Graham Sensford, Mark Westwood, Dale Bennison, and John Moore. Hopping over just a little people right there. Alan Toon, Max Bohr, Kip Stevens, Christopher Brown, Wouter van Assen, and Terry Miles coming up at the end.
Yes, we have 4 pro drivers, signed up for this race. We'll see if they race with us. And Terry Miles has failed to record a valid lap time, but I think he should be on the grid as well. So we have, at the moment, I think, a 26-car field. As you can see, the drivers are getting ready as the Porsche pace car is rolling. So I'd say that the proceedings are officially underway. It's going to be, like I said, a fantastic, fantastic night of racing. Thank you for sticking with us, and a very exciting beginning of the week.
Looks like the pro drivers have actually have not pulled away from the field. Oh wait, they were waiting for somebody else. Yeah, they're just all sitting back there. Either they're doing something for their own thing, giving the amateur guys just their own run. But as the pace car pulls off, everyone's lining up side by side as they come around this first turn. Also, forget the name of this, but as the lights are now coming on, It's green flags and lights on, and here we go for the MX5 Amateur Cup here at Bathurst.
Already cars with their wheels on the grass, the very hard braking zone at Hell Corner. Who is going to get there first? Seems like it's Ben Sharp.
Yeah, leaders taking it a 1, 2, 3, 4. Very squirrely in the background. They're almost going 3 to 4 wide and up there, but no one really having any incidents at the exit of Hell Corner as Ben Sharp and Sebula leading out Banks and Jacqueline. They're going over the hump and about to enter the mountain section.
Yeah, Sebula is a teammate of the two drivers in front and behind him, even though he is not wearing the newest up-to-date livery of Fury Sim Sport Academy, but he is and a new face in the championship straight away on the front row, and now letting Jazz Banks, I think, by, and now the two more expert drivers for Fury Sim Sport Academy are leading the way.
Yeah, as they now lead up the mountain. Look at Sebula getting passed up on the inside by Jess Banks, and Sebula and Banks not really giving each other any room as they're going up and all through these hills. We're riding on board with Carl Jacqueline right now, as you can just see on how tight it is and how hard it is to actually make an overtake through here. But Sebula and Banks giving it their all right now. Oh, Banks! Oh. Sebula's off!
What a
Got
save!
onto the curb. What a save by Sebula right there.
Usually, you know, when you go wide in that position, you don't live to tell the tale. He was very, 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 very lucky indeed. Both himself and the guys that were behind him, because usually the car, you know, moves back onto the racing line and you have like massive pileup, but not this time as we go for the first time on Conrad Straight. And let's see how the draft will work. I see already May trying to get a run on Jacqueline.
Yeah, you were mentioning on how odd it is to not have an incident right there. It's also odd when all four wheels leave the ground that you stay going forward. So he might actually have some suspension damage. So keep an eye on Sebula right there. But Sebula defending from Jacqueline and with May. Jacqueline looking up the inside. Here comes May setting it up the inside. They go through wide. Jacqueline gets sent right into the side of Sebula.
Oh, and I'd be surprised if that is not wheel damage for these guys. Let's see, because it was a pretty hard side hit for all three cars as we go back to the final corner. And let's see, the driver seems like Chocolate. Let's see his steering is a bit bent. You can see. Look at this.
Yeah, it's a bit bent. Yeah. Sebula is going to be even more bent. It has to be bent for Sebula. But Sebula, speaking of him, on the inside of Hell's Corner, snipes it from Hardy and takes P7. And actually, it's really just seem to have any suspension damage, as much as I was thinking. Just has a massive bit of front end damage.
Yeah, so another lucky escape. That was a bit optimistic, but that's why we like this series, you know, the 3 wide there into the chase. Was certainly a lot of fun as they move once again to Griffin Bend and start the climb up the mountain.
Yep, Hardy up on the inside, and Malcolm swings around the outside in Griffin's, and I believe he's got that position as they're still going 2 wide back there. And the midfield fights, the midfield, backfield fights in the series are always something to watch. If you guys ever want to see those fights, there is always something going on in these races. As we just switched from that camera angle, I just saw, I think it was Christopher Vierg and Steve Hansberg going at it. But we're now looking at Ever May and Ears. The leaders have absolutely just left these guys.
Absolutely,
now, this
yes.
is the battle for third.
Yes, all that fighting there, especially back there at the chicane, helped. As you can see on the track map, the top 2 have run away. I think we have around 3 seconds of gap between Banks in second and May in third. Sharp is a little bit less than a second ahead of Banks there at the front, but behind them... Oh, speak of the devil, Jess Banks is around.
Be careful rejoining the track right there. That is forced elbow.
Oh, and he's gone.
Yeah, that is suspension damage. Turning all the way right to go left. Here's the replay. I think this is just Jez losing the back end, or just smacking straight into the Falcons sign.
Yeah, the front end of the car is non-existent, so this promotes basically everyone else behind him, apart from, of course, the race leader, up 1 place. So now Edward May is in second, David Ayres is in third, and Mikey Key is in fourth. As you can see, this is the battle for second place as we are about to start lap 3.
Yeah, as they come one more time around Murray's corner and down the main straight.
Oh!
See something? Oh, there's a car around. That's Hansford. Hansford veers, banks in the pit lane. There's a car doing wheelies, two-wheeling it, and that is Davis, who's absolutely got himself stuck in the middle of the guardrail. There's this bent bodywork all over these cars right now. There's another crash at Murray's corner. What happened over here? Let's take a ride in the chopper right now. Oh!
Oh, there is a clothing car. Made a mistake there. All hell broke loose.
Yeah. It looked like when that Alto car was following him, it just got brake checked and he just wanted to avoid it, shot across the grass, and just lost all control, just caused all craziness back there. Ouch. That's all I can say. That's bound for second between Kears, Ayres, and May. It's going side by side through here, almost going 3-wide. It looks like Key might have an issue.
I think they had contact going up the hill because look at the cars. Both May and Key are massively damaged on the front end of their car. So something must have happened, and Key is really struggling and he's into the wall.
Oh my goodness!
No, that was Sebula
in the wall, and he's going out to the inside. Luckily, he stopped the car in the grass, but that is one damaged car, and he's gonna drop out into the pits.
Too bad because
that tried to go around the outside, and we said this at the start of the race. If you try to go around the outside here, or just even try to go side by side, it's going to result in a bad time. As now Ease and Mays are still battling it out once more time through Forest Elbow. We're looking back at the battle for 7th right now.
Look at Mikey Key. We are going to get a replay of this as soon as possible, but we cannot turn away from this fantastic fight for second place.
So we're approaching the chase. Looks like Ayres got a good run on May right now. But May is going to try to close him up, saying that slipstream and get him on the other side of the chase. Reminds you a little bit more of the Le Mans race that we had earlier this season. That was a very, very interesting change of pace compared to right now. But this long straight, very fun to watch, and a good breath of air from Sonoma as we're all riding on the back of Ayres. Looking back at May, coming into Murray's corner. Look at the ground that May just brought up right there. A little bit of curb action, gets on 2 wheels. Ayres defending on the middle of the straight. May going to try to make something up going into Hell's Corner. But I don't think he's going to dive that far into him.
Look at the lap times. Sharp 2:33, Ayres and May 2:37. So this fight is really, really entertaining for us, but costly for these two drivers as they are losing a lot of time now. 8 seconds is the advantage of the race leader over Ayres and May. And Scott Malcolm very quietly is up to P4, having a very solid race as he has. You know, he is a driver that we are used to. You know, him having.
Speaking of Scott Malcolm, he's in a fight with Carl Jacqueline and Kellyman, and Jacqueline up the inside of Griffin's corner. He's going to try to hold it around, but Scott Malcolm, we saw him make a move around the outside. There's still side-by-side, and Scott Malcolm defended that well around Griffin's bend.
Fantastic driving from Scott. A driver that, like I said, very, very consistent. And even if I'm spectacular, he's always there. So right now he will have, a bit of, I wouldn't say rest, because look at the train of cars behind him. But certainly he's looking good for the time being, even though this is going to be 6 long minutes for him from now until the end of the race.
Yeah, he's in a massive fight. All he needs to do to actually save this fight or give him a little bit of breath air is catch the group of Ayres and Mays. That he's definitely faster. They're slowing down ahead of him. Just 3.5 seconds separate Malcolm and that group ahead as they're going side by side. Ayres and May giving all of each other room around Forest Elbow once more, and it's going to be Ayres up on the inside, Mays around the outside. Do you see Scott Malcolm in the background as they're going side by side down Conrad Straight? As I don't think they're going to give any bit of room going to the chase, but Mays is going to slide into the back from him. Ayres going a little bit of switchback. Hello, Mazda front grille. That is a beautiful front grille right there. So they're heading into the bend right now. It looks
Oh!
like Ears getting a little bit too close to May. May defending onto the inside. Ear might try to switch back right now. But as they go around the bend of the chase, look how much that closed them down. And Scott Malcolm closing up against each two. We saw May get a lot of time going into Murray's Bend, as here comes Malcolm, Jacqueline, Kellerman, and Sampson, as the battle for fourth might become the battle for second very soon.
I mean, this is exactly what Scott Malcolm wants to see, the fight between Ayers and May, and you were absolutely right. Look at how close they are all getting, but of course they have to maybe be careful for not fight too much for a second.
Second faster.
Yeah.
That entire lap. 2 seconds separates them. They're going to catch them at the end of this lap.
If they don't do anything stupid, because look at how close they are behind Scott Malcolm as we head to the mountain for the 5th time. What a fantastic race one we're having, and here we go.
Here comes Jacqueline. No, here comes Malcolm. No, that is Jacqueline. Yep. I'm going crazy. Oh, there's contact in the bend! Contact in the bend! Ayers and May are spun around! And oh my goodness!
Unbelievable, you said it. You said it. It's going to become the battle for second place. Massive, massive drama.
Scott Malcolm's out. He was involved in that. Here's the replay. What happened? Ears is leading May. May's going, looking around the outside, and oh, that's a block.
And we should see now Scott Malcolm plow into this duo. So certainly not the way they would have wanted this to hand, both Ayers and May, and of course poor Scott Malcolm. So where are they? They are Ayers is in the pits.
Dagger
May is in the pits.
meets heart. That's all I have to say.
Is Scott Malcolm still going? Yes, he is, but I think, you know, a very wounded race car, I would imagine. Down to P10.
I'm surprised he's still on the... Yeah, it went from P3... No, P4 all the way down to P10, and that car is very badly damaged. And I only believe about 18 cars are actually on the track right now. As we're on Cessford right now. He's doing a little bit of yard work right now on the inside of
he clipped the wall.
Oh my goodness.
He clipped
the wall.
At
That
Forest
car is
elbow.
swirling that car is swirling all over the place. Hopefully that doesn't bring up anything back. Here comes Hardy with Veered. Veered up on the inside of Hardy, coming up into the chase, and it looks like he's going to have a clean inside overtake. Yes, he does. Hardy might try a little bit of switchback action right now, but Jacqueline now up into second place after a insane 6th lap right now. We might see Kellyman try something right here.
Should be the final lap of the race.
2 minute 30 lap times. Yeah, it should be the last lap of the race. In theory.
In theory. And we have a new fight for second place now. Jacqueline, Kellyman, and Sampson. Let's see how this one ends up. Being the final lap, we might see some desperation moves. Even though these guys, I think, you know, if I was, it's easy to say it from here, I would be very happy because they've gained a lot of places thanks to crashes in front of them. But you know, we're always going to get that one position more.
Kellerman's moved up 7 places as Jacquelette's moved up 2, but people in the background, Andy Maxwell, Christopher Veer moved up 10. Christopher Brown's moved up 15 places. Sure, some of those may have been crash assisted, but great drives keeping it out of the wall. So my goodness, Sampson and Kellerman going side by side right now, coming up to the cutting. They think about that once more and go back to that single line progression up through the mountain zone and up into Core right now. But Kellyman under pressure by Sampson, so battle for 3rd and 2nd is definitely going to be alive, and we might see something happen through here. And remember, this is the first race out of 3. And they're already driving just all out to the wall right now. Sampson almost clips the wall right there, right on cue. Although following a very tight line right there. Hopefully they don't hit on the inside curb. Oh, definitely upset the car. It looks like Sampson's fallen away from them just a tad bit. Their setup might not be as forgiving as Jacquelette's, as Kellerman slowed up the pace right now as Sampson's on the back of him, coming up into Forest Elbow. The battle for 3rd is all but gone right now. as Jacqueline's running away in second place, riding on board with Samson down the Conroy Straight. Conroad Straight, not Conroyd. I'm dyslexic. So we're up in the chase. Kellyman's rejoined back with Jacqueline. They're going side by side as we're up with Ben Sharp one more time around Murray's corner. And a very dominating race for Ben Sharp as he takes the win. And it looks as Carlos Kellyman has overtaken Jacqueline out of the chase. And Jacqueline, he's led this group right there, but Kellyman, very opportunistic. I thought he was out of it coming out of Forest Elbow right there, but Kellyman is going to lead it up into second as Jacqueline and Sansa are going side by side. We're going to have a photo finish for third. It's going to be Jacqueline by 0.1. Verg in fourth, and Maxwell in sixth, followed by Hardy, Brown, Jones, Essen, and Bourne. Or Bore. That got crazy fast.
Yeah. Let's see a replay of the move.
This Kellyman on.
I mean, what a fantastic race one, and like you said, we had two more to come. So on the outside, you see the overspeed that Kellyman had was so impressive, and he gets up 8 places to finish in second. So a very nice run from him, and like I said, there is a lot to come. Jaroslav Sebula finishes the race in P17, so he is home. What could have been for him? His teammate Edward May in 18th, and we are waiting for Alan Toon, who is a wee bit behind. Hopefully, he can come home without the timer hitting 0. So we'll give him a bit of camera time while we get ready for the results, and much beloved reverse grid wheel.
We all enjoy the wheel, and the wheel's going to have a hard time picking out who is actually available for this race because I believe there are a few cars that will not be getting that who I don't think finished or came across the line a little bit, and those are all the guys who were involved in that massive crash on lap 6. And then earlier on, as it looks like Ben Sharp is doing something at the chase.
Oh, he tried the jump. Don't think it worked.
He tried to jump it. All right, this is something some of the guys like to do on in lap. It's called the jump. If you've never seen the jump attempted before, this is how you do it. Pop, foot down to the floor and go straight on.
Disappointing. Disappointing. I'm sorry.
Ooh,
not good enough.
I'll give it a 6 on the landing. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean the landing and the car exploding on the barriers were spectacular, but the jump. Well, yeah. I'm expecting more ES2 races to make it better. Race results should be on your screen right now.
And here are your race results. Ben Sharp, the jump master himself, needs to work on that last part, takes the win, followed by Kellyman, Jacqueline, Martin Sampson, Christopher Veer, Annie Maxwell, Carl Hardy, Christian Brown, Craig Jones, Wouter van Assen, Max Bure, Scott Malcolm, Jess Banks, Dale Bennison, John Moore, Graham Sesford, Sebula, who had a very tough race. These guys right here, oh, they're going to be wanting a better race than that. It's Sebula, May, Alan Toon, Mikey Key, David Ears, Kip Stevens, Terry Miles, Russell Davis, Steve Hansford, and Mark Westwood. All those guys 1 to 4 laps down. What happened on the front with Russell Davis, Hansford, and Mark Westwood? We're gonna have to. Hopefully, they get a better race next time in rounds 2 and 3. But after that crazy first round, I can't wait for the next one. But first, I think we got to spin the wheel.
Just let me give you a replay to see what happened to Mark Westwood. I think he crashed at Skyline coming down the hill very early in the race. He was already struggling.
Back in all over the place, and boom!
So, reverse grid wheel then. Let's see what it has in store. We have, if I am not mistaken, 20 cars available. So, let's see what happens here. The wheel should be on your screen right now, and as per usual, each number corresponds to the number of cars that will be reversed, with -1 being the full -1, and -2, -3, -4 will be a full reverse of the cars that are going to be eligible. So let's roll it. And it is going to be a small one. It's going to be 8. So this means that our pole sitter will not be Christian Brown, because he is a pro driver. I think Carl Hardy will slot into the pole position spot in front of Andy Maxwell, Christopher Vigre, Martin Sampson and Carl Giacometti. This should be your top 5 for race 2. Okay, so this was a very, 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 very interesting race 1. We are going to head for just a bit of a commercial break, and we shall be back for race 2 in around 10 minutes time, so don't go away.
For a splash. 3, 2, 1, now. All clear. Punch it. Great job. You did really well.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
And we're back for round 2 of the BSR MX5 Monday Cup here at Bathurst. The wheel has been spun. It struck A, and Carl Hardy starts up on pole. He's followed up by Andy Maxwell, Chris Revere, Martin Sampson, Carl Jacklett, Kellyman, Ben Sharp, Craig Jones, Scott Malcolm, Jess Banks, Dale Bennison, and John Moore. Graham Sesford, Sebula, May, Key, Ayers, Miles, Davis, and Hansford. And after him, it's Wouter van Assen, Christian Brown, Art Westwood, Kip Stevens, and Max Boré. And with that, everyone's starting the formation lap, the formation 2 corners. 2 to 3 corners, I must say. And after last time, we had a crash on lap 6. Do you think it's going to be a much cleaner race today? This round?
You know, the reverse is very small, so we shouldn't have, you know, the very, very quick drivers trying to fight their way back, you know, in the midst of the slower drivers. But still, it's Mount Panorama. Never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, especially I think there's actually a crash on the gridding phase right now.
Something. Oh, yeah, you were absolutely right. Terry Miles crashed. As the green flag is in the air, we will get to the bottom, you know, on top of that very soon, as we hear some more crashing there in the background. People trying to jostle for space. I think it's Ben Sharp, Jacolette, that area of the field got involved, as the cars are running 6 laps this time around, as we are heading onto the mountain for the first time. As I'm not hearing Austin anymore, so hopefully he doesn't have a thunderstorm over his house, as we are taking the hard right that brings up on top of the mountain. As you can see, the big pack behind the 2 race leaders, Hardy and Maxwell, who are trying to pull away, and this is the toughest part of the race, I think. That first lap where everyone is trying to jostle for position, and it's so easy to get involved into a big mess. Carl Hardy looking in his mirrors, he should be safe from attack on this part of the racetrack, but then of course he will have to defend. I wouldn't say necessarily very hard, because they can do sort of some swap drafting as they go down the hill, and then, you know, next time around give the position back to each other. But of course it's easier said than done, as the cars are heading down from Skyline and into the final portion of the mountain, going down the hill into the deeper Forest Elbow and back to Conrod Strait for the first time. As you can see behind them, the train of cars, it is slowly rolling through, as we have a problem for Ben Sharp. He's losing several positions, 4 of them in fact. Malcolm, Banks, Jones and May all went past him, as in front Christopher Vigre is under big pressure from Carl Jacolette. Carl will move to the inside as they head into the chase, and using a good launch will move side by side, and Jacolette, I think, yes, overshoots the chicane, will be tagged with a slowdown, and we'll have to give the position back to Vigre, and I think also Kellyman will jump past him. They go in the final corner. 3 wide. I think Jacolette is still try to get that slowdown done and dusted. As they go 4 wide behind. This is not going to work, I'm afraid. And Scott Malcolm is the victim. Only a spin, but he's in a very precarious position. Gotta be super careful. And now he's basically the last of the running drivers. Davis will probably get past him very soon, as you can see the train of the pro cars about to join them.
Yeah, the pro cars definitely closing in on Davis and Malcolm, as it looks like Ayers and May are still battling it out as they're coming up into the cutting and up into quarry right now.
Nice to have you back, Austin, by the way.
Yeah, it's nice to have you back. iRacing crashed for me.
But you have a very quick computer, so you were able to jump back in very quickly, which could be a problem before, in between sessions, but not now. You see, that was a good thing.
Yes, great thing.
We are having great action, but the fact that I still want to get through that crash during the pacing, because one of the cars was absolutely destroyed. So we shall get back to that as another crash, and look at the crabbing number 42 of Car Jacolette.
Goodness.
And he has to be super careful. That car is going to be hard to control. You don't want to, bump into any other driver while you are fighting with the steering wheel. Look at everyone trying to take avoiding action. Jacolette tries to move on the right. Look at that. Gotta be careful of the grass. And he will be freight trained, I'm afraid. So we move back to the front with the automatic no-kill car of Samson. Big, big, big door banging. And Samson has to go to the grass. That was a big, big side hit for the two cars following Carl Hardy, who says, very nice, I'm trying to move away. As we are
on.
Yep, okay. So you are back 100%.
Yes, I am back. I'm just worried that I'm not actually seeing the race that's going on right now. They just passed Hell Corner, right?
Yes.
Okay, then we're on the same page. It's that massive group going 3 wide. There's a lot of hoods missing right now, so I believe I missed probably one of the most action-packed starts I've ever seen. But the battle for first between Hardy and Maxwell, we're checking out this little replay.
No, I made sure we were both on the same page. Hopefully the camera tool is off for you. And yeah, we should be back. The right-hander, we go back up the mountain once again.
Yeah, up Griffin's Bend right now. This is Veer and Kellyman. And it looks like Sharp, Banks, and Mayer also coming up a little bit side-by-side action up through the cutting. Back at Kellyman and Sharp. Ben Sharp had a very easy first race. This race not so much, but here comes Ben. He's looking up the inside. He might try to make a move on Kellyman, and he does slide it up the inside. Now Kellyman has the little blockade runner right now, but the battle for 5th right now going absolutely crazy between Ben Sharp, but Ben Sharp, he's got the advantage and the overtake, and probably one of the scariest sections to even drive a car right there. And now Kellyman under pressure by Banks. Jazz Banks, a little bit of hood missing right now. That'll just be a weight advantage for them, but they're on the back end of Kellyman as they're coming down. All these back ends. Oh, looks like Banks hit the inside. Maybe hopped over that curb right there. And it looks like Ben Sharp is caught up to Veer right now. The battle for 4th between the two is going to be light up a Ben. Swinging it around the outside. He's got the overspeeds. They're going side by side along the side straight. Sharp versus Veer. And it looks like Sharp does not have the... Yeah, Sharp, he does have the speed going to the chase.
And also in the front, sorry for the quick cut, but also Samson and Maxwell are going to get it again after the argy-bargy of the previous lap. This time.
Samson up the back of Maxwell, almost getting into them as we're rejoining with Sharp and the boys with the battle for 4th. Really the battle for 5th right now because Sharp's absolutely leaving them behind. His car is set up perfectly for this track, I must say.
Absolutely. I mean, and these drivers are showing that despite this being the amateur series, they know what they are doing as lap 4 starts right now, so we are officially in the second half of this second race.
So we look in the back. Oh my goodness, up the inside! That is Kellyman spinning around. That's Banks, and there's cars all over the place right now. But the worst of that is Ayers. Or that's... Yeah, that was Ayers. Or Boré. No, it was Banks. Okay. Very unfortunate for Banks. I thought that was Ayers for a bit, but not so much. We rejoined back with that massive group. It's down by a few cars, but a few have joined in right now as Jones up the inside of Kellyman. And it looked like Ayers going to join them right now. But Kellyman keeping that position as Jones going to try it once again, looking up the inside, coming up into the cutting. And now Jones and Kellyman under pressure. Jones going to swing around the outside and keep that position from Kellyman. Great move through the quarry, very safe. But look in the background, Benison looking for any advantage on the back of Ayers. Looking back from Kellyman onto the 666 car of Ayers right there. They're now going down the mountain right now. They just want to keep it safe and out of contact through here as they're all spreading out just a tad bit. But expect all this to tighten up, coming up into the Forest Elbow, which is right here, up that little hump and down into the apex. Looks like Kellyman's missed that. No, wait. Yeah, the Kellyman slowed up a lot. And yeah, that was actually Jones up there as David Ayers have actually left Dale Benison behind them, and now they're swinging along, jostling positions, and here comes Kellyman around the outside, and here comes David Ayers coming up into the chase. Kellyman's got the speed, Jones got the position. They're almost going 3 wide right here. It's going to be very tight. Oh my goodness, what a move by Jones. Very defensive place on the first part, but very safe on the exit. And now here comes David Ayers. Going into Murray's corner. We're going to see some late breaking action. No, we don't. Keeping it safe between the two. The battle for 7 stays the same.
I mean, that camera angle there at the chicane always makes it look like the car following is about to smash into the back of the car in front of him. So I always get a little bit anxious when they get there. The pack is somewhat spread out, as we shouldn't forget about our race leader, Carlardi, all along there. Martin Sampson in second, and Maxwell. Sharp May is in fifth, under big pressure from Christopher Vigre, and they are having a fantastic battle, passing each other many times over. And just behind them is this other battle that we were just following, Jones, Kellyman, Ayers, and Bennison.
Yeah, battle for 5th is the big pack right now. We're looking at Jones, Veer, and Kellyman, all with them. Kellyman still on the back of Jones. David Ayers trying to find anything, but Kellyman and Jones are the real battlers of this thing. These two have not let up on each other. Running on board Kellyman right now. Going into what I like to call, going into the park and skyline right here. Up through that little hump. Avoid these curves at all costs. They will definitely hurt your car. But just look at the pace that they're coming through the dipper right now. Even in these underpowered, very, some would say, slow MX5s, these things are very agile, can flick through this little section with utter amazing pace right now.
And
up to the Forest Elbow.
Forest Elbow, I think, you know, it's the most deceptively tough corner in the world, I think. You know, it seems like a lazy left-hander. The way it closes on you, it's, you know, I've left many bits of race car on that particular wall.
I flipped many cars on that wall. Speaking of flipping, it looks like Jones and Veer. Jones going around the outside. We saw him defending from Kellyman right here, but it looks like he's going to try to set out the inside coming into the chase. Oh my goodness. Does not do it, but look at the background. David Ayers has spun. He was going up the inside of Kellyman, and it looks like Kellyman has just forced Ayers into an error as the white flag's being flown right now. What's happened with David? Was there contact between the two, or was this a mistake being forced out? David sending it up the inside.
If there was contact, it was very minimal. I'm afraid it was more of a case maybe of some, you know, lag contact, because And you know, when you are turning, these cars don't like to get touched. So the moment you just have a little bit of contact in the wrong place when you are turning, you are going, you know, for a spin. And that is sadly what happened to David. One more lap to go.
Lap 6 is where it all kicked off for the leaders of that massive crash. And it looks like a Samson and Maxwell and Sharp are all might be in for a fight right now, as we're still looking on Veer Jones and Kellyman right now. Here comes Kellyman looking at the back of Jones. These two are still going at it. But we're switching up to the top 3 in the battle for third between Maxwell and Sharp. Sharp has been on a tear. He absolutely destroyed everyone in the first race in a good way. And it looks like he's going to go back for another podium finish. He's trying to get his second one. Oh my goodness. That is veered off the track, hard on the brakes, went through the grass and kicked up a lot of dirt right there, but I believe it was only him.
We'll get back to that. I have to focus on this. So we have to see this replay and the replay at the start. But what a fantastic fight for the final podium spot between Maxwell and Sharp. Absolutely fantastic. Fantastic stuff.
Coming up into fourth, elbow, most accepted corner is right. Here comes Sharp. He's absolutely right in that back end. A little bit of a bump drive from Sharp. He's taking out the outside line. Maxwell not giving him any space. He's now decided to take up the middle of the track and might try to send something up the inside to force Sharp into a mistake coming up into the chase, but it looks like it's going to be Sharp leading him out. He's got a half car length, but he's got to swing across the entire track going into the chase chicane. He's using every bit of track right there, but Sharp's going to easily take P3 right there unless Maxwell tries anything up the inside. They get extremely close to each other, but Sharp now takes P3 on the last lap, and it's going to be 2 straight podiums as Carl Hardy one more time around Murray's corner and across the line to take P1 of race 2. Sampson in second, followed by Sharp and Maxwell.
So let's see what happened to Christopher Vigra.
Well, he's leading that group. Here comes Jones up the inside, well now the outside, and he just comes across him. He gets turned in. No space was left. No space was left at all as they're pulling it off into the grass and hopping out. We're still waiting on a few more guys right now.
We're trying to get a replay of what happened there at the start. I don't know if Austin can see this because this was way back before his crash. Oh no! Oh no! So Terry Miles ran into the back of his teammate Steve Hansford because they were not expecting, I think, Mikey Key. Let's get a replay of this so you can get on board with Terry Miles and you can see that is Mikey Key. The pack is going very, very slowly. There's a big checkup and then Miles gets hit by his teammate Hansford, I think, and all hell broke loose. Look at that. That was also who was that? I think Russell Davis, yes, was in his very, very colorful livery also involved in that. So that was a big drama, and you know, great job by Austin to catch that out as it happened. And now we shall give you the final race results of race 2.
And here are your results for race 2. Carl Hardy takes the win, followed by Martin Sampson. Ben Sharp with that amazing move on the last lap brings it back for his second podium right there. He's followed by Eddie Maxwell, Edward May, Charles Kellyman, Craig Jones, Christopher Veer, Dale Bennison, David Ears, Max Bore, Kip Stevens, John Moore, Russell Davis, Carl Jacquet, Scott Malcolm, Graham Sesford, Jez Banks, Steve Hansford, Mark Westwood, Yaroslav Sebula, Terry Miles, Wolfgang Acid, Christian Brown, and Mikey Key.
Yes, so we have 21 cars, one more than in race 1, available for the eligible, for the reverse grid. And let's bring it up. Here we go. It should be on your screen right now. And let's roll it. The final reverse wheel of the night. 20 or 10? 10 at the very last moment. So we're going to have a 10 car reverse. So two small reverses. And the pole sitter is going to be David Ayres. He will start in front of Dale Bennison, Christopher Vick, Craig Jones, and Charles Kellyman. This will be your top 5 as we head into a break here from Mount Panorama. And we shall be back in around 10 minutes time for what promises to be a very exciting conclusion to the racing activities around here. Race 3 coming your way in just a second.
We're almost out of fuel. You'll have to come in for a splash. Three, two, one, now. All clear. Punch it. Great job. You did really well.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
for a splash. Three, two, one, now. All clear. Punch it. Great job. You did really well.
And we're back for the BSR MX5 Money Cup, the final race out of 3. The wheel has been spun, and here is your grid. It's David Ayres starting up on pole, followed by Dale Benison, Christopher Vierg, Craig Jones, Charles Kellyman, Edward May, Andy Maxwell, Ben Sharp, Martin Sampson, Carl Hardy, John Moore, Russell Davis, Carl Jacqueline, Scott Malcolm, Grant Sesford, Jez Banks, Steve Hansford, Mark Westwood, Jaroslav Sebula, Terry Miles, Wultavon Assen, Mark Boret, Christian Brown, and Kip Stevens falls up at the end. We went from about 26 to 24, so almost everyone stayed here. And after a crazy first 2 races, here we go for round 3 here at Bathurst. And I can't be dishonest with you. I'm very excited.
Yes, I mean we were, maybe it's for the best that we didn't have 2 very big reverses, 8 in the first and 10 in this second one, because this is a track that really where things can go very wrong very quickly. So nice to have the, too bad for some of the drivers who maybe wanted to have a big shot at, this is one of the tracks where if you can get track position, you can make it home with a good result. But still, it's better for the racing. And speaking of which, we are about to get racing once again. As the cars are getting
very close to each other. The pace
uncomfortably
car
close.
Yeah, very close. Hopefully we don't have a incident like we did last time. Cars are speeding up. We expect them to slam on the brakes coming into Murray's corner. And here we go for one more time here in Bathurst.
Yes, seems like a good getaway from David Ayres as they are all fanning out. The flagman waving like crazy as they are heading into the first corner. Oh, contact!
Fury cars getting into the side of each other. There's the spin. That is Veer and Benison already crashed out at the start in hell corner, absolutely causing hell, as some might say it. And they're going 3 wide down the front straight. That is May, Sharp, and Hardy. Sharp moving up around the outside. Maine is holding them up as they're coming up into Griffin's curve right now. 100 meters to go, and who's going to be the first one to go? Oh my goodness, keeping it 3 wide through Griffin's curve. Ben Sharp around the outside, holding it right there. And I believe he's going to hold it out. Yes, he does. Absolutely crazy move by Sharp, going 3 wide through there. And as they're coming into the cutting right now, still going 2 wide. Under chaos at the start, and that is great news for David Ayres. He's just running away with this, but it's an absolute madhouse behind Hardy. See, everyone's starting to go into that first round of 1-by-1 following, but everyone is following so close to each other and trying to make a move and trying to make up any amount of positions at the start. As halfway through the lap, it's time to catch a breath.
It is absolutely as we go into Skyline for the first out of 6 times in this final race of the night. Your leader, David Ayres. Edward May is in second. He should pop on your screen right now. His teammate Ben Sharp is in third. The 2 result clothing cars of Craig Jones and Carl Hardy round up the top 5.
Now we're looking at the Fury Year 1 teammates of Sharp and May. Sharp assisted by May in that utter chaos of a start with 3 wides. We're looking at Kellyman and Sampson right now going 2 wide outside of Forest Curve. And coming up to the chase, it looks like there's a move for Hardy and Jones. They're going side by side coming up into the chase right now. Now we saw Jones with a move on Maxwell. Jones with a move on another car last round. As here comes Jones once again up the inside. Hardy swings around the outside and gets that position very easily. And here comes Maxwell going to try to swing it around the outside. And Murray's corner is actually going to go for a switchback. Now he's going for the inside. Does he's going to send it into the braking zone? Actually, a little bit earlier, trying to freak out Hardy right there. But Jones, very easy as Banks and Jacqueline very close to each other. A little bit of bumper. Oh my goodness!
Graham
That
Sesford.
is Sesford. Yeah, that was Sesford. He's crashed out and done an absolute barrel roll, and I think he lost a wheel right there. Riding on to board with Graham Sesford. Hopefully, you guys are hanging on to your seats because this is going to hurt. Just lost on his own.
Nice landing.
Yeah, great landing. I'll give that an 8. We rejoin with the action of Jones and Hardy. They're going at it right now through Griffin's corner. So I think that was Kellyman going very wide. But it's going to be Jones leading out this little group. The battle for 4th is alive and well.
Man, this is a bomb waiting to explode. I don't want to say it, but it is something has got to give in this pack because they are running side by side even up the mountain. Usually this does not work in the long run.
Yeah, the strategy sometimes doesn't work as all the cars are flinging around right now. They're following so close to each other, and they're all in a little one-line procession. Be like, this isn't that exciting. These guys are going pedal to the metal. There's a move being made for round P7. I think that is Jacqueline and Kellyman right there. P8, I must say it's corrected. But Jacqueline all over the back end of Kellyman. And here comes Banks around the outside in the dip. Close proximity racing is all what the MX5 Cup is right there. As I believe there might have been some instances, a little bit of bump and run right
that was
there.
the mechanics in the wall.
Oh my goodness, Kellyman's in the wall. Sampson's in the wall as well. Oh, that is disastrous right there. That curve is absolutely deadly for a few racers, and it's always been deadly. As now the battle for the lead. This is what we've been looking for. David Ayers under pressure by May. Ayers going to hold off May right there. As Ben Sharp, he's been on it all weekend right now. He had the lead in the first race, third and second race. Is he going to try to challenge for the first again? One more time, corner and to Murray's corner. Lap 2 out of 6 right now. Ayers on the inside of May. He forces May wide. Sharp following the inside. They're going to go 3 wide down the front straight. And it's going to be Ayers holding it around the outside, coming into Hell's Corner, but it's going to be Ben Sharp retaking the lead as both the Fury Sport guys go up the inside and take top 2 positions.
Fantastic stuff. As we are in lap 3 out of 6, starting right now. So these are very short, very quick races, but the tension is so high. And once again now, a little bit of relative rest on the straight and back up the mountain.
These two going absolutely crazy. Here comes May up the inside of Ayers. Ayers goes wide. He has to tap on the brakes, avoids the wall and Griffin's bend, but he falls back. This is a massive hit. That's
Craig
Jones.
Yeah.
And he's Jones in the wall.
Very, very bad. I think he's stuck. No, he's able to move. That car is not going to go anywhere, I'm afraid. Let's see.
It's just a missed break. I think this is just a missed breaking point. 50-meter board. Hits the inside. Oh, he hit the inside curve. That just upset the car. Bam. Goes a bit wide. Grinds to a halt. And thankfully, everyone has avoided him as he goes into bits. The battle for 6 right now between Jacqueline and Banks and Malcolm is still firing up within each other. They're coming up through Park right now. I think Jez Banks might try something through here. They're heading into the Dipper. So to spread out like they were in race 2 as we got a crash in the Dipper. That is Terry Miles and Christopher Veers just got a crash.
Yes, Terry Miles has jumped to the pits, and I think that Scandinavian driver Vigra is going to join him very, very soon, and that is exactly what
I think
happens.
there's another car involved in there, so we might want to take a look at that replay after the race.
You can
Or
see it
right
now.
now. Oh.
Oh!
Oh my goodness.
It is the classic example of wrong place at the wrong time. Oh, Jesus!
Oh my. Carnage everywhere. He's flipped to that. And that is Jacques Gillette just flipping all over, ending up on the roof. And,
Malcolm is involved as well, I think.
Maxwell was also involved in there. There are so many cars in the pits.
Oh!
That is just unfortunate right there. I think. How did that come to happen?
Let's see if we can find. Okay, here we go. This will give us a better idea, I think. As
Jacques
we see.
closing in on Maxwell. Maxwell goes up on the. Oh, that's just covering him off. That was avoidable, 100%.
And Karja Colette, 2 flips out of in 2 straight races. I think. Oh, that was great. That was Graham Sesford. Apologies. So I thought that Malcolm was involved in that, but no, Malcolm is good. He is fighting now for P6 and getting passed by Yaroslav Sebula in his Fury Sinsport vintage livery. We switch back to the front because May has lost contact with the guys in front of him, the 2 leaders, and now he's falling in the clutches of Hardy. Is he having some steering issues? I think no. But he has some damage on the front left.
Yeah, he's got some front end damage. But he's holding off May and he's holding off Hardy and Banks. Try to stay with his teammate of Sharp and Ayers. Ayers not really part of that teammate, but he's probably going to try to hold up Hardy for Jez Banks and work for the Fury Sinsport Academy team. As here comes Hardy through Skyline and into the Dipper once more. Lap 4 out of 6. This is where the chaos usually starts happening, as last lap really was the absolute start of that. But here comes Jez Banks. I believe Banks is going to try to make a move onto the run into the chase right here. Banks closing in on Hardy. Sitting in that slipstream, a little Le Mans style straight going right here. But I think Banks might try to make a move coming into lap 5.
Looking at how, the closing rate, you can see it on the screen, and on the bottom right of your screen you see the gap dropping and dropping and dropping as we switch to the outside camera, and you can see clearly the damage on May's car.
To the chase. Oh my goodness, Hardy almost closed out Banks right there. Banks going late on the brakes. They keep it in the same order. But I think Hardy just absolutely ruined all momentum that Banks had going into that corner to make any move going up the inside. But Banks might just try to be settling for that position right here. Coming up to Murray's corner. Here comes Banks. Getting a little bit of tapping in there. Push Hardy a little bit wide. Hardy goes into the grass, but keeping that pace as May is just leading out. May try to be a little bit teammate. Try to keep Hardy right there with him, but May, I think, is going to start leaving them right there. But his pace is absolutely slowing up through Hell's Corner. So I think a little bit of teammateism might be happening right here, or that damage is that severe for May.
2 more laps, and I'm very sad to say this because I could have gone on all night. Bathurst and these cars and this league, always a great combo. Hardy on the outside.
Through Griffin's Bend right there. Hardy trying for the outside move, but May holds him off, and Banks closed up so close to Hardy right there. They're almost bump drafting each other. Coming up to the cutting, looking on the back end from May. Hardy swings it up to the inside, and Banks almost gets into the back of Hardy right there.
That was unexpected. I was genuinely scared. I wasn't expecting that to happen.
I think it scared us a little bit both. Gave me a little bit of jolt to the heart. They're all starting to spread out. I think there was a little bit of contact behind them in the battle behind. I heard a little bit of contact between 2 cars, but I don't know if that was with a wall or with another car. But they're starting to spread out once more after that little heart attack right there, as we're switching back to Sharp and Ayers. The battle for first is still alive and well, as they're on their little own section, as May, Hardy, and Banks are off doing their own thing in the background.
Ayers
Right
needs
off.
to get in the slipstream very, very soon if he wants to have a chance in the final lap. You can see 1 second is good enough, but he needs to be closer if he wants to go for a move.
Yes, indeed. We're looking back at the battle for third, the battle that's been giving us all the hype and joys in the world. Here comes Hardy on May. Hardy up onto the inside. He's followed by Jez Banks. Jez Banks looking for any moves. They're going to make it go 3 wide coming into the chase. Banks on the moves. He's got the momentum. Swinging it up on the inside, and Banks gets a little bit of tank slapped to Hardy right there. Hardy being slowed up, and here comes Scott Malcolm around the outside. They're going to go side by side and into one last time El Murray's corner for the final lap, and Malcolm's going to get the position on Hardy. Very unfortunate for Hardy right there, but Banks getting up into P3. His teammate of May absolutely playing a definite part of there, even with a damaged car, as they're going 2 wide in the battle for P5 between Malcolm and Hardy. Hardy now getting a position on Malcolm as Sebula, with that old school Fury Motorsport livery, is in that back group right now.
Yeah, hoping for a, I would be happy for him if he could get this top 10 finish in P7 because he was really quick tonight, and of course Bathurst a tough track to make your debut in. Anything can happen in this fight. Let's see who can get on the podium. Any one of these 5 drivers, apologies, can get on the final step of the podium.
Now, one small mistake from Banks can cause absolute calamity and a wild card in this pick, but May with that car damage is going to be absolutely key for Banks to keep this position and just drive his race, because May has that car damage and that's not going to make him as fast as Banks. As we saw Jess Banks closing up on that 2-car battle and absolutely got past May and Hardy, so he's going to be in prime position for that 3rd place group. Just all to keep it all together, as that group is absolutely dropped off from the back of him. What's happening to everyone else?
I think there was a contact between the Sebula and Malcolm. Let's see, Malcolm might have made a mistake. Let's see what happened here.
Yeah. Oh.
Malcolm.
He shifted down too much. I think he.
Yeah, his
it
car
looked like
bogged
a
down.
blown engine.
His car really bogged down there mid-corner, and Sebula was not expecting it, and so they made contact as we head into the final section of the racetrack.
Here they go, absolute drag race through the 2 Fury Sport drivers of Edward May and Jess Banks, as they're sitting in the slipstream 007 and 107 side by side. One last time around Conner Road straight, and coming up into the chase. Hardy keeping his wits right there, staying behind them. Edward May up the inside. Teammates battling out. Hopefully they don't have contact with each other. Banks swings it and just settles up out front on that front bumper. And coming around Murray's corner, 2 wins today. Ben Sharp, podium 1, 2, and 3. He gets it right there in the battle for 4th place between May and Hardy. Hardy going wide, trying to force his way up the inside of Murray's corner, but unable to do it. Banks finishes 3rd. David Ayers in 2nd. May in 4th. Hardy in 5th. Sebula in 5th. Hansford and Malcolm 7th and 8th. They're followed by Davis and Boré. Those are your top 10. But what a drive by Ben Sharp today. First race with the win. Second race, bringing it back up to P3. Had a little bit of help with the reverse grid today, and absolutely put it on top once more for his 2nd win today. But absolutely dominating performance from the Fury Sport Academy driver of Ben Sharp. An absolute crazy race. They're still racing on the track between Kellyman and Sampson right now.
Yes, they are. And
oh, they're going to have a little bit of drag race, but Kellyman's going to snipe that position by oh. I think they might have been tied.
they were, yeah.
Wow. Talk about close finishes. If that was a close finish for a race win, that would have been insane. And our last guy is Jones on track, but I think we're going to wait for Ben Sharp right now, who is might be trying for that jump one more time.
No, disappointing.
Nah, he's just giving us a bit of donuts. Thank you, Ben. He knows when the cameras are on him. Giving a little signature on the track right there.
Come on,
And
now
just
the
giving
jump.
the fans a little
No,
show.
he is stopping. Oh no, he's very happy.
Nah,
That's for sure.
he's just giving us a show.
Goodbye FPS.
Well, hello FPS for me, because it just looks great from my screen. Has it gone into the pits yet? Yeah.
Let's see if
All
there's
right.
anyone trying the jump, but I don't think so. Maybe
Looks like Bore might try it.
Well, he's
He's
putting
going
on
to get.
a...
Oh my goodness! European
Oh!
intensifies and in the wall.
Okay, so let's go through the final race results one more time. They should be coming on your screen in just a second.
All right, and here are your results for race 3. It's Ben Sharp once again at the top of the podium, followed by David Ayers, Jez Banks, Edward May, Carl Hardy, Yaroslav Sebula, Steve Hansford, Scott Malcolm, Russell Davis, Max Bordet, John Moore, Christian Brown, Mark Westwood, Dale Bennison, Charles Kellyman, Martin Sampson, Carl Jacqueline, Craig Jones, Kip Stevens, Graham Sesser, Terry Miles, Andy Maxwell, Wilson Van Essen, and Christopher Vier for the final race of today. As somebody just done the jump right behind us. I believe that was Max Boré who did that.
So a fantastic night of racing, and we shall wait because I think we have drivers as per usual coming in for their interviews. So
yeah, we got Ben Sharp in us with you right now. An absolute class act today. Dominating performance by Ben Sharp.
Yeah,
How you do that, man?
I've done a lot of practice on this track. Yeah, lots. I've done a couple of hours the other night. Just because it's so hard to get a lap now around there, I just kept practicing, and I just felt so confident around this track there all night, really.
Well, you certainly gave us a lot of show, especially race 1. That looked very easy for you. No one was really trying to pressure you. Race 2, you gave us a very great overtaking performance and a nice fight through the grid. And in the final race, that battle for the lead, that was some great driving out there.
Yeah, race 1 was relatively easy. I think there was some crash behind me or something, and that was it. I was just driving away where everyone else had a lot of damage. And then race 2 was mega. I really enjoyed that. Like, it was just classic BSR racing, like just trying to race your way through as cleanly as you possibly can. And then race 3 was, I couldn't believe it. I come out the first corner, I was like 4th, and then next minute I was 3rd, and we catch up to David Ayres, and he gave me a brilliant race. To be fair, he pushed me the whole way. I was driving 100% the whole race, and I just couldn't drop him. So I really enjoyed that last one.
We can tell you did. Marco, anything you want to add?
nothing. Just wanted to ask him if he has any shout out to give.
Yeah, quick shout out to, big thanks to all the Fury Simsport boys, and to Dan Blake and Anthony Ainsworth, who couldn't be here tonight for personal reasons. So hope everything's all good back at home. But yeah, and also a big thank you to Year One Flip Flops for the big sticker on the side of the car. Appreciate that. Hopefully we'll get some flip flops soon. But yeah, that's everything.
All right. Well, thank you, Ben, for some great driving and everything. And hopefully you have a great rest of the week, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, see you next week. Take it easy, boys.
All right, you too. Let's drag in David Ayers right now.
Thank you.
David, how are you doing?
Hello, how are you?
Doing great. How are you yourself? How was that final podium that you got?
Yeah, I'm well chuffed with that. Yeah, I was pedaling like mad to try and keep up with Ben.
Yeah, Ben said he was putting in a lot of practice this week, and this was a track that he really wanted to do great on.
Yeah, yeah.
Marco, I believe you have some questions for David?
Yes, I wanted to ask him about next time around, because if I'm not mistaken, we are going for the first time in BSR competition on the new Silverstone, if that is correct.
As far as I'm aware, it is, yeah.
So, I mean, it must be, finally for you guys having, what basically is the home track of the series, or one of the home track of the series in the simulation. And have you bought the track? Are you doing have you done some practice already?
I've only turned a handful of laps in the M8. So I've not taken the Mazda around there at all yet. But that'll be, as of Wednesday night, we're putting practice sessions up, practicing on Silverstone.
Awesome.
Are you expecting a for the Silverstone track? Are you expecting a very close race or a very spread apart race? Because Silverstone is usually known for its slipstreaming battles down the long Hanger Straight and all the other straights and exciting corners that it has. Not very technical sections, and around with the MX5s, these turns take a long time. So, what are you expecting around that track in the MX5s?
I honestly don't know yet. Like I say, we've not raced there on the new layout at all. So if it is a bit of a draft track, that will certainly help us, because we do struggle to keep up with the fast guys. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one.
All right.
I just thought I'd pop in, Austin, and just
correct me on my pronunciation of
Yeah,
airs.
Yeah, it's a weird name, but it's spelt so many different ways, but it's always pronounced airs.
Well, hey, thank you for correcting an American on what I see.
No problem at all, mate. No problem.
Wait, you maybe go a bit crazy at the end of race 1.
All good fun.
Well, all good fun. Well, thank you. You have a great week, and we'll see you. We'll see you next week. But first, before you go, do you have anyone that you want to shout out?
Just Result Clothing for the sponsorship, and the rest of the guys in the Result Clothing team. I think we're starting to pull together and get quicker as the weeks go by. So yeah, we'll try and keep up the fight.
All right. Marco, anything you want to say?
Well, no. That was very, very nice from David, and yeah, catch him next week then.
All right, see you guys next week. Thank you all.
And that was David Ayers. So we are, well, I'm not doing my job properly, because this week the Ferrari fixed, which is my go-to series as of late, was at the new Silverstone. And I said, I don't want to bite. I think my next broadcast there is in, October or November with the Euro V8s. And if I had done my job properly, I would have bought the track already and did already 1 week's racing there. But yeah, this means that at least I will be back to my record of having all the road courses in iRacing. So yeah, I can't wait to see. Because in the past, I can tell you, Austin, if you go back and watch the old broadcasting we did for the MX5s at Silverstone, both the full track and the smaller variants, it was always one of the best rounds of the season. So I hope that that the track will be the same. Provide the same level of excitement, and who says
it usually does.
Yeah, it usually does. Yeah, I mean, the track has
coming from the F1 side, it always provides top end racing from start to finish. So I can't wait for next week. I hope you can't wait either. I hope you guys watching can't wait either for next week, because we certainly are very excited to go to Silverstone for the first time in the new layout.
Exactly, and that will be it for us. So, Austin, if you want, you can close the broadcast.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in these 3 fantastic races here in Bathurst. Next week, we're at Silverstone, like we just had that little discussion, and I hope you guys are very excited. I've been joined by the wonderful Marco Panorama. I'm Austin, and I hope you guys have a good night.